Idai and Kenneth smashed into Mozambique in March and April 2019. It was the first time in recorded history that two major cyclones hit the country in the same season. The most disruptive Category 4 Idai killed around 600 and displaced over 140,000 people. The two cyclones left 2.2 million people in need of urgent humanitarian assistance. Beira still bears the marks of Idai nearly 1 year after the cyclone swept through the city and surrounding rural areas. 240,000 houses were destroyed or severely damaged. Tens of thousands of people are still living in temporary or unsafe shelters, and those who were lucky enough to have their houses spared are struggling to make repairs. For some, Idai was life-changing.
This tree fell last March the 14th, the day the cyclone hit. I was sleeping in this room with my wife, who was 8 months pregnant. When the tree fell over the roof, she was emotionally traumatized. I had to take her to hospital, where the baby died. She died afterwards.
The UN Migration Agency IOM will distribute 2,300 recovery shelter kits. During the first phase of the response, 20,000 emergency kits had already been distributed. The response has now entered the recovery phase.
We are now distributing more durable shelter materials, such as roofing sheets, timber and tools and cement, to help families, particularly in their communities of origin, families who have not been displaced, in repairing their roofs.
Paolo is among the 50 families who received a kit at the distribution site of Nyakonjo, on the outskirts of Beira, the day we visited. This material will help him continue the work on his new house, which he's building just next to the damaged old one.
I will use this wood to strengthen the house a bit, because as you can see, it's in a really bad shape. And then I'm going to keep the cement, save some money to buy some more bricks, and get on with this construction.
Idai destroyed 715,000 hectares of crops. This came in a country where nearly 2 million people were already food insecure. We traveled to the resettlement site of Njeja to see what kind of food aid displaced people are receiving from the World Food Programme.
We are providing a monthly ration of 40 kilos of cereals, 6 kilos of beans, and 4 litres of oil.
Families like Teresa's will continue to receive food until next harvest season. Because of Idai, she lost her house, her livelihood, and her loved ones.
When the cyclone arrived, I climbed up a tree. I was with my sister and her 2 children. We stayed there for 2 days without anything to eat. The current was so strong that part of the tree collapsed. My sister and her kids were taken away.
Both projects we saw on shelter and food distribution are financed by EU humanitarian aid. The EU pledged €200 million to help the country strengthen its resilience for natural disasters.
Disaster risk reduction and disaster preparedness is an integral part of our response. And if you see here, for instance, we have actually shifted these people from a dangerous location to a more safe location. And obviously we will continue to assist the local authorities in preparing by pre-stocking their warehouses with assistance items, better hurricane early warning systems.
The initial life-saving priorities have given way to longer-term development goals in order to make these families self-sufficient and more resilient to future events.